All right, boys, man. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, we're going to be talking about why working hard is probably the worst thing that you can possibly do. The reason why working hard is probably the worst thing you could possibly do is because you got to think about the employees. You got to look at it like this. We got the boss, the manager, and then the employees. The boss is doing nothing. The employee is doing most of the pumping. The employee is doing most of the work. And guess what? When an employee do most of the work, it goes to the boss. And guess what? Let's say the boss make 100,000. They probably giving, you feel me, the manager 20,000, and then guess what? The employee 10,000. That's just an example. I know you probably seen something like that where the employee is like pumping the shit, and the money's going to the big boss, and then he's giving something to the manager, and then the employee gets very little. That's why working hard is probably the worst thing you can do. I notice anytime when I work the least, that's actually when I see the most money. Any guy you know that's pretty much successful, you notice like they're not actually really hard workers. Not all of them actually, but the people I know, they're working less. Like if you think about it, they're working less. They really working less, like probably like 4 hours a day type shit. They might be doing 10, 20 hours a week. They're doing that and they're making plenty of money. The reason why is because you need to save your energy. You want to have quality work, not quantity of the thing that you're doing. You want to have a quality version of that work. You don't want to be busting your ass, working hard. There's millionaires that works 80 hours a week, you feel me, and 300 hours a year, you feel me? But then there's those other millionaires that maybe work 100 hours a year, you feel me? That's just an example. They might work 100 hours a year and still make $1 million. What's the difference between the two? One is working harder and one is working less. So there's millionaires that's working 10 hours a week, and there's millionaires that's working 80 hours a week. Which one would you rather be? 9 times out of 10, you would rather be a millionaire working 10 hours a week instead of 80 hours a week. You feel me? I'm not gonna lie, bro. You're going to have to come to a realization that working hard doesn't actually do anything, actually. I noticed, I'll give you another example. I noticed when you're working at a job and I was doing like, damn, I don't really want to put my business out there. But let's just say you getting like, for an example, let's say you're getting about $1,300 a week. But there's not really much of a difference because like if you're making $1,000 a week or 1.1K a week, the only difference is a $100 to $300 difference, but you're working harder. You're not actually going any faster than the guy that's doing the same amount of hours. If you really sit here and think about it, if he's doing 1.1K a week or $1,000 a week and the other guy's doing $1,300 a week, you got to realize they're still going to get to the same destination at the same time. If y'all was both stacking the 10K, I mean, yeah, the guy that's doing 1.3, like making 1.3K, he would get there faster, but not really too much faster than the guy that's making 1K. He's not getting there too much faster than him. I ain't gonna lie. It's almost like you're on the road and you're driving, and let's say the speed limit is about 70. You think going 100 is going to get you there. And think about traffic. You think 100 going to get you there quicker. But guess what? It's traffic around. You ever get off the same exit with the person that's going 100 miles an hour and you're going 70? Y'all get there off the same exit. So in theory, working harder doesn't actually make any sense even with these jobs, bro. Because you got to think about all these, the bills and all the other stuff. So you got to realize like working harder ain't the answer. So you better off just saving your energy, getting that 1K, and then putting the rest of that energy into yourself. You feel me? You better off doing that because at the end of the day, you're going to get to the same destination like everybody else. You feel me? At the same time. And that goes to show, bro, like hard work is not the actual answer. So what really is the answer is it's mental work. It's spiritual work. You have to work hard on your mental. We got to work hard on your spiritual. And then everything else on the outside will have to align to that. You have to focus on alignment. Once you focus on alignment, and you already aligned to the person and the version that you need to be, the outside world has no choice but to change for you. You can't change other people, but you could change yourself. You could change your mental. You could change the way you think. That's how you actually do get to the next level without working so hard, because you changed your mental. So you have to change the way you think about money before you think working hard and all that. If I had to say work hard on something, I would say work hard in here. Work hard on your mental. Don't stop trying to change outside events. Marcus Aurelius actually talked about that. Stop trying to change outside events and focus on oneself within. Or I think that's how the quote goes. You have to change the inside in order for you to ever experience the outside. We always talk about the income, your self-worth. Once you raise your income, the outcome has no choice but to change. You don't have to worry about the outcome because you raise your income. Let God focus on the outcome. You just got to worry about the income. I'm just giving game out here, you feel me? So honestly, what you really need to do more is focus on more alignment. Stop trying to go all in on the business model and just not doing anything. I keep doing that shit, and I'm just trying to tell you guys to stop doing it too. Like, because I noticed there's people that said they were making, for example, 30K a month when they were working hard, but when they started working less, it seemed like they had bigger months, like 60K a month. Because guess what? It has nothing to do with the output that you put out. It has something to do with the input, which is your income, your insides, your self-worth. That's what it has something to do with. So once you raise your self-worth, then the outcome will change. But if you don't raise that, then it's like, how is anything else going to change? Because guess what? It's almost like I feel like getting girls a little bit. I feel like when you go out there with that needy energy, like of needing women and needing girls, you notice that you get rejected because you need them. You're thirsty. You're desperate. Girls don't like that. That shows lack. That doesn't show abundance. So I feel like that goes the same for being a millionaire. So like if you're not, but notice when you're not worried about girls, you're focused on yourself and you're focused on alignment. Next thing you know, girls actually start coming your way because they can feel that energy. They're attracted to success. It's this energy that they can feel, and you exude this confidence and this energy within you. So that goes to show, bro, like you gotta really focus on alignment, gang. So when you want alignment, it's the same shit. You feel me? When you're trying to work hard out here and try to do everything on the external, and notice your results, you make less money than when you were working less. You make less money because you chose to sit here and work harder. It's crazy, but like, it's the same shit. So when you start going within and aligning yourself, it don't give off this thirsty energy. It give off this, I'm abundant. It give off this confidence. That's why feeling is the secret. That's what Neville Goddard was talking about. Feeling is the secret to getting what you want. It's not the actual thing that you actually want. It's the feeling of having that thing that you want. It's literally, it's the feeling of you having it. You know what I mean? It's not the actual thing. You want that feeling, this dopamine rush in your brain, bro. That's really what it is, gang. So when you just focus on alignment, and then when you're truly aligned, you're not worried about it because you're aligned. You're the version that you needed to be to attract that thing. And then it comes to you. So same goes to women. It's the same thing. You do that, not worry about them. Next thing you know, they all come out of nowhere. But when you're worried about them and trying to look for them and do these things, this is why you don't find them, bro. Focus on alignment. Stop worrying about outside external things. Because it is nothing but a reflection of you. You feel me? I actually want to give you guys an example of this, actually. So it was a salesman. I don't remember what book I read, but I'm going to tell y'all, though. It was like a salesman, and he was stuck on making $5,000 a year. No matter how hard he worked, he just kept making $5,000 a year, like every time. Now, $5,000 back then, it was back then, so it's not like in 2025, but before all that inflation and all that, bro. Like back in the 1800s, bro, $5,000 a year, or like 1900s. He making $5,000 a year, and he got tired of being stuck at $5,000 a year. So he ended up meeting a guy, and the guy was telling him, raise your self-worth, raise yourself. You feel me? Raise your self-worth, and everything else on the outside will change. So the guy vividly imagined himself making $50,000 a year. Now, $50,000 a year back then was actually a lot back then. So he visualized him making $50,000 a year. The man, he kept going. And next thing you know, he ended the year off with $50,000. Because, bro, he stopped doing all that hard work on the outside. He focused on alignment. Once he focused on the alignment, everything else on the outside made his change. Because his subconscious accepted it as reality, accepted it as truth. And that's what I'm saying. You have to focus on alignment. You cannot do something on the external. It has to be your internal first, then external. We learned this in school, internal before external. You think about jumping off the porch before actually jumping off the porch. I'm thinking about moving my hand before I actually did it. I'm thinking about it. You think about everything that you do. You can't even move a finger without actually thinking about it. And that goes to show, bro, like, alignment is the key. Alignment is the key to success. Alignment is the key to getting anything that you want in your life. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. You have to focus on alignment. That's why I'm telling you, working hard is the worst thing that you can possibly do. And if you don't believe me, bro, keep doing what you're doing. But notice when you're doing the same shit, guess what? You don't see anything. So you have to do shit that kind of makes you uncomfortable. Doing the same shit over and over and over is why you're not getting to the next level. Because you're comfortable. You cannot grow and be comfortable at the same time. I've never heard of that, bro. What person do you know that they grew and they were comfortable? You don't know nobody, because you got to do something way different, something that's uncomfortable, something that's out of your norm, something that you don't want to do. And that's the kind of shit that actually makes you fucking the version that you want to become. And that's alignment right there. That thing that you're scared to do. That's what you got to do if you want to make it to the next level. But if you don't want to make it to the next level and you want to see the same bullshit over and over, keep doing the same shit and watch your outcome never change. You want to know why, bro? Because you never changed your income. Stop trying to outwit yourself. Stop trying to. Because every time you try to outwit yourself, you can't do it. You cannot outwit your shadow. Your shadow does what it does. You see the shadow behind me in the background? See how I'm moving it? The shadow has no choice but to follow. You create the shadow, bro. So until you raise your income, the shadow will follow. But if you don't raise your income, do not expect a different outcome. And that, guys, is the definition of insanity. So basically all I'm saying is stop putting all that time into your craft. Put less time and put more time into alignment. How do we put more time into alignment? We visualize ourselves completing a task and the end result of the desire that we want. So if we want to make $10,000 a month, we have to visualize ourselves making $10,000 a month. How will we feel to make $10,000 a month? We have to make our imagination as vivid as possible. Or we can pray about it. Or we can speak it through the tongue. The tongue is a very powerful weapon. It's something that we can speak it. We got to speak it. We got to be consistent and persistent. And we got to spend lots of time until we make it natural to feel like that. That's when the outcome decides to change. It's until you make it natural. How many times can you say something over and over until it fucking happens? And how many times can you visualize it over and over until it's so normal to you, bro? You honestly get confused with the reality. You need to get that confused on your reality. You need to do it so much. You need to be feeling so much like good feelings inside you to the point where you need to be crying. You need to be feeling it and crying and embracing it and embracing the change and embracing it. Embrace your struggles. And I think that's when everything changes, because you embraced it. You're aligned to the man that you always wanted to become. But if you're not aligned to it, I mean, how the hell can you experience something else? I told you, you cannot outwit your shadow. So until you embrace of this new version of who you are and embrace the struggles, embrace the pain, embrace the suffering, that's when the change happens. And the only way we're going to embrace this is we got to get used to getting uncomfortable. We got to keep getting uncomfortable. Because if I'm noticing I'm not moving, oh, gang, I got too comfortable, gang. That means I need to go do this shit. I need to go do that. I need to go do this. Embrace it, bro. Embrace the struggle. Embrace the change. You got to go through shit. I'm not sitting here saying it's going to be an easy process. But just keep fucking going. Literally, bro. Like, my guy Napoleon, bro. My guy. He was so disciplined. He sat there for 10 hours and visualized it. When you visualize success so much, you have no choice but to be successful. Put the damn phone down, bro. The phone is our biggest weakness because it's a distraction. Put that shit down and go into alignment. Because your brain is like a computer. Why are you putting so much garbage in your brain? Focus on alignment, bro. Focus on alignment. Another example, the best joker in the world, right? He was the best joker. And he ended up having to act for a movie. And he bought himself a room. He sat in a room for 10 hours, no food, no water. And he would be acting as the best joker. He'd be visualizing it and acting it. And guess what? He was the best joker to ever live. It drove him so crazy because he put it in his mind so much. The shit drove him so crazy. When he started acting on the movie, people were scared of him, for real. Because he played the hell out of that joker. Because he put in the reps, he put in the study, and he put in the hours, gang. And now he died because they really drove him crazy. But it made him the best joker to ever live. There's no one else that's out-competing that, bro. I'm telling you, bro, literally. And what I'm trying to say is if you want to get good at a thing, really good at a thing, like the Kobe's, the LeBrons, the Floyd Mayweathers, the Mike Tysons, you got to be willing to put in them hours like they did. That's probably the fastest way to get the result. Don't think just putting in 1 hour a day is enough time. I mean, that's the bare minimum, actually, what, Christ asked us to do. That's the bare minimum. But why be average? Why settle for less? when we could be the best? Why don't we just spend all of our time doing this and focus on alignment and let the outside world make its changes? Why work harder? Let God do the heavy lifting. You just got to do your part and just be on alignment. And naturally, things will start to happen in your life. You will naturally start to take the actions. I mean, it's better when you take action. But if you don't know, sometimes you just got to ask questions. And let the alignment happen. Like, feel me? When I'm stuck, I sat there for 4 hours walking around asking, how can I make such amount a month? And I did it for 4 hours straight. To make this, that's what I did. Now, I haven't got the answer yet because I just tried it. But we were feeling stuck. Ask questions. God is infinite intelligence. He's everything and he's everywhere. Tap into the true power that you have. Ask questions and God will show you the routes. He will show you the things that you're looking for. It's just like asking your parents a question. You get what I'm saying? So it's like when you truly align and embrace the struggles and you spend all your time mastering yourself, self-mastery, that's when the changes happen. Think about anybody successful that you know. They're extremely disciplined. Extremely disciplined. Andrew Tate, very disciplined human being. Anybody that you know that's successful, we have to be very disciplined. Even when we don't fucking feel like it. We got to stop distracting ourselves. Turn off our phones. Stop accepting calls. Stop accepting texts. Because if we keep doing that, that's not alignment. It's not. Because you're distracted. How are you going to get somewhere when you're distracted? Turn your phone off, bro. Stop distracting yourself. Once you master yourself and focus on self-mastery and you put in these hours, you put in the work, there's nothing that can stop you. You want to know why? Because when he's number one, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing that no external thing can do anything about it. Because you made yourself number one here. Once you realize that you are number one, there's nothing you can do about it. Then anybody else around you, they can't do nothing about it. Because you got to realize you number one. So once you just go relentlessly and mentally and just make yourself so undeniable, very undeniable, of course you're going to get the result. Because you're undeniable. How can God tell you no? You're disciplined. And that's how wealth comes to you. Wealth trusts you. Wealth trusts who you are. Because you focus on alignment. Because this game is nothing but alignment. If you watch to the end, let me know what y'all think down in the comments down below. I'm going to catch y'all next video. Peace, y'all.